Alright, so this is going to be somewhat of a special video because I don't usually work on these kinds of devices. This isn't a screen repair. I'm actually going to be trying to remove the back cover so that we can check if the antenna is messed up. As you can see, the signal's screwed up. It's not showing 5G or anything. It's somehow connected but not really connected to the tower, so you can see it's just searching permanently, and that is with a SIM card in it properly. So sometimes it'll get signal, but rarely. So I'm gonna check, hopefully it's an antenna. A lot of people use heat. I'm gonna see if I can do this with a little isopropyl rubbing alcohol. So I'm gonna put the alcohol into the edge. You can see it kind of like just soaks into there on its own. Okay, so I put a little bit, and you can see it's gonna slowly, you can see it's slowly sucking itself in. All right, and hopefully we can use this thin tool to kind of pry it up after it kind of dissolves the adhesive a bit. All right, it's easiest to go at these bottom edges because there's a bigger gap. I've seen people use like razor blades and stuff to do this, and suction cups. Again, I'm just trying to do this with this tool, so hopefully this will work. All right, also there's the different color bars that are going down the metal part there. You see that little bar? That's for the antennas to go. All right, so I'm gonna continue trying to pry this a little bit. Let's get a little more isopropyl alcohol in there. Okay, and it just absorbs in, it just sucks in. So you want to take this very slow. Hopefully I'm not going to end up breaking this because the back is made of glass. All right, so you don't want to go too fast. If you go too fast, then the glass will just shatter. So yeah, we're gonna try and take it very slow. It's kind of a game of a lot of patience. All right, and slowly continue working it in and prying. All right, I feel the tool's kind of allowing it to tip over more and is going up. You can see it's kind of the tool's kind of tipping over. So hopefully that means we're getting underneath in between the two layers. Okay, you can see it's just falling over now completely, and we're gonna try and work our way down and pry up all around the phone. Okay, so we're gonna go back in the edge, and we're gonna kind of let this tool slowly kind of pull itself out. Okay, you can see it flops up, and we're just gonna work our way all the way around. Again, if you don't have something like this, you can probably use like a thin razor blade, but be very careful because razor blades are brittle, and you can actually crack or shatter the razor blade, and then it can shoot shards of metal at you, so you want to be very careful if you're using a razor blade. Okay, so there you go. Slowly. Alright, we put a lot of isopropyl alcohol in here, so I don't think I should put more. Alright, we'll get this in there. I don't know, we might need some more because around these edges it doesn't want to come up. The problem is the curved glass makes it a lot harder. Okay, so yeah, we're going to slowly continue pulling. Maybe try and get some isopropyl alcohol around the edges. Okay, and we're just going to continue slowly letting it kind of pry itself. Maybe push it in a little and then let it pry some more. Okay, you can see again it's falling over on its own and slowly lifting. Alright, so let's see if we can try and get around the side edge here. Again, the side edges are going to be harder. Let me zoom out a bit. Hopefully I can get something in there. Oh, I can actually fit my fingernail in there right now. So you can see I can get my fingernail in there. And we're gonna slowly work our way around. Okay, after getting all that isopropyl alcohol in it, it's kind of allowing me to slide my fingernail in. And as you kind of work your way around, you can also put a little more. Again, I use fingernails. You can use plastic pry tools, whatever works for you. I can see that it's slowly lifting. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, so we're just going to keep working our way around. I got a customer calling, so I might have to take that in a bit, but I don't want to stop midway if I can help it. Yeah, definitely the cover's lifting off. Okay, I can actually see, You see this gap here? Okay, so hopefully, the reason I like to use isopropyl alcohol is because after it dries, the adhesive is still tacky, and then we should be able to kind of just stick it back down. At least that's the plan. So, working our way around, continuing to pull up. You can see this side's already kind of pulling up completely. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna continue going around the side. And I can actually get the whole tool in here if I wanted to right now. Let's see. All right, I did put a lot of isopropyl alcohol, so hopefully it's not going to cause any issue inside the phone. Usually it's not too big of a deal, but sometimes the adhesive residue might be conductive. Oops, I turned on the screen, and that can cause some issues. I am going to have to turn off the phone. It's still on right now, but I'm going to kind of work my way in a little bit further first. Okay. Continue working my way down. All right, maybe I should start over here on this side as well, since we got most of this up already. Let's see if we can get over starting on this side, so that way it can lift up like a cover. Okay, so we're gonna go around here, inside my fingernail in. And then we'll get some isopropyl alcohol in there. Try and get it in the side edge. Alright. You can see how much we got open now. Alright. And with isopropyl alcohol, it's kind of a slow waiting game, because as it lifts the adhesive, it slowly gets the isopropyl alcohol in there. Okay. And then you kind of just have to keep waiting as it kind of slowly absorbs in. Okay, work my way down. This edge is being really tough. I can't get my fingernail in there yet, so we're gonna have to keep putting a little isopropyl alcohol and slowly hope. Alright, as it kind of penetrates through, it should slowly lift up. Okay, I can now kind of get my fingernail in there, but not completely. But yeah, okay, once I can get my fingernail started in there, it'll be easier, because I can now put isopropyl alcohol down the edge here. Alright, and if you're wondering about this little bottle, it's actually ink bottle from when I used to refill my printer ink. And then I just cleaned it out real well and put isopropyl alcohol in it. Okay, slowly working my way in. I can see the gap is forming, and it's slowly allowing the isopropyl alcohol to flow. Okay, we're just slowly putting isopropyl alcohol in there, and then working our way down the side. Okay, this side is still up. Just gonna slowly work our way in. Oh, my fingernail's getting pushed out. I gotta be careful, because it's gonna just close back up. Okay. Continue prying here. Right, again, slowly working our way down. I can actually hear the adhesive slowly peeling now. Alright, continue working our way in. Alright, this side's coming up quite a bit. Continue putting some isopropyl alcohol. Okay, I'm not too sure how people do it with heat, because you burn yourself trying to like take it out. I don't know, they use gloves or whatever other tools. But, alright, slowly peeling it. You can see how far open this is now, or hopefully you can. Can you see that? Yep. Alright, you can see, so the cover is coming up. We're going to continue working our way up the side of the phone. Alright. Alright, slowly peeling away. Alright, we're almost at the very top edge. There we go, look at that. Look how far open we have that now. You can actually see the adhesive all the way around. A little bit of the adhesive on that part got kind of peeled up a tiny bit, but hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so now you can see we have this open almost all the way. I'm going to slide with my fingers kind of inside it, slowly work it down. That way kind of the meat of it pushes out. But you want to again, go very slow. Don't take it too quick. You don't want to end up cracking the glass. We got this far already. We don't want to go too quick and then end up breaking it. So we're going to put a little more isopropyl alcohol in there and a little more in here. Okay, and as that goes, if you just hold this, you can see it's already peeling itself up. Okay, so we're going to put some up here as well. And we should just be about ready. You see how much easier that is than using heat? I don't know why people like to use heat. Yeah, using isopropyl alcohol works really well. I guess maybe it's a little dangerous if you put too much and it floods completely inside. You can damage the phone. So you do want to be careful. Again, you don't want to just go crazy with it and just flood your device. Even though isopropyl alcohol, if it's a high percentage, isn't an issue, isn't too bad of a problem. But you don't want it to like flush the impurities and adhesives and stuff into the inside of the phone. Okay, so we're just continuing slowly pulling on it. Now I'm kind of pulling, rotating a little bit to try and get the adhesive to work its way. Okay. Yep, it's working. Slowly peeling itself up. Alright, this is actually a lot of isopropyl alcohol again, because I'm trying to make it go a little quicker, but if you're more patient, it'll probably be a little bit better. And it's almost out. It's peeling. There we go. And there we go. We got the whole cover off. You can see the entire adhesive around there. And oh, maybe the adhesive is just like that, because it's like that on this side here, and it's like that on this side here. So we're going to set that aside. Be careful not to let this get too dirty. You don't want the adhesive to get compromised. We're going to try and reuse it if possible. Okay, then we got this wireless charging bar here, and then we got this piece here. I don't know if I need to peel all of these things out, but the antenna, the main one, I think is this. So I want to get to that and remove it if possible. We're going to first let's turn off the phone real quick. So it's still on. You want to hold this button and the volume down, and then we can go ahead and power this off. Oh, give me a second. All right, so we're turning off the phone now. Okay, you can see all the camera sensors and stuff in here. If you want to see like videos where it kind of shows a complete teardown, I think Jerry Rig Everything's probably is one of the better or best ones, so you can watch that. All right, I'm not 100% sure where the battery connection is here, so we're just gonna pop this out. I'm gonna use my fingernail and basically get underneath and then pop that up. Okay, you can see it pops out just like that. We're probably gonna need to use one of these little plastic picky tools here to kind of try and get underneath. All right, to get under the wireless charger thing, and it's not coming out easily, so I'm gonna see if I can put a little isopropyl alcohol there and see if that will help it. When I've seen other people's videos, they just like peel it up easily, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they peeled it up before, but as you can see, it's not coming out on its own. It's not easy to peel this piece up, so I'm just slowly, carefully working this up. Okay, and you can see with the isopropyl alcohol, it's slowly allowing it to peel away. Hopefully you can see that, slowly allowing it to peel up. Okay, and I'm not applying too much force here, I'm just going very slow. Okay, I don't want to rush it. There you go, and the adhesive pad is staying stuck down there, so that's good. Okay, we're going to get under this part. I'm going to put some more isopropyl alcohol here as well. Okay, and we're going to slowly work our way down. Just like that. can see as we slowly work our way over, it's peeling up. Okay, I want to be very gentle and go very slow here. Okay, there we go. It's also taped up to here to the S Pen port. I still have a bunch of isopropyl alcohol on this tool, so you can see it's slowly letting it go under. Okay, the isopropyl alcohol allows it to dissolve the adhesive a little bit and allows it to slide into place. There we go. So now we can lift this more. It looks like this is all held down with adhesive as well, so we're going to try and get under there as well. Okay, I'm going to put a little more adhesive, isopropyl alcohol. This is 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can get it at any pharmacy type store, Target, Walmart. Okay, slowly working it in. All right. Continue slowly working it under. Okay, so I don't know, they just ripped this thing out in the videos I watched, so I have a feeling it's because they took it out before and the adhesive is like, probably they touched it to make it not as sticky, because yeah, there's no way, you'd have to pull really hard I think to get this out if you didn't do this. I don't know what the white layer on top is. I don't know why they put a white plastic on top of this stuff. Okay, we're getting there. We're almost under the whole thing. So you can see there's this little hole here. I'm going to put the isopropyl alcohol between there and continue. And if you're just ripping this thing up, you want to be very careful at these points where it has like a cut out, because those sharp points can be where you can easily tear these kinds of things. So again, we're just going very slowly. It's being stubborn here, it doesn't want to come out easily, so we're going to put more isopropyl alcohol and continue working this thing, wedging it underneath. Okay, you can see under there. Alright, continue slowly wedging our way under. It's getting caught on something. I don't know if there's something in the way. I'm going to wiggle the tool a little. Maybe it's on a raised bump and my tool's hitting that. Let me turn it around. Almost there, come on. Let go. There we go. Alright. So here we go. We got the entire, this is the Qi charger or wireless charging thing. Okay, there's like coils of copper in there. We're going to set that aside. Okay, so here's the adhesive that's all stuck there. Again, as it dries, it should become tacky again. Hopefully the one down here, I don't know, it's separated. It doesn't seem sticky anymore. So I don't know if that will still stick down, but we'll see. Okay, looks like the battery connection is underneath this board, so we're gonna have to remove all of these. Give me a second though, I'm getting more calls. I'll be back. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back. Anyways, here's the inside of the phone. Let me get maybe a thumbnail of that. Okay, let's go ahead and start taking this apart. So yeah, you don't really need heat to take this thing apart. You just need some isopropyl alcohol and a good little dropper to get it where you need it to go. Alright, I think we're going to be using a JIS0 or J0 screwdriver. If you don't have that, you can try a 00 and maybe that'll work, but I wouldn't try larger ones. Okay, so we're going to have to remove all these little screws in here. Let me see, hopefully everything will be visible. Alright, not sure if I have to remove all of them, but I'm going to do it anyways. So let's go ahead and remove all these screws. You do want to use a JIS0 or J0, or if you have a PH0, you can probably use that. The smaller ones, you run the risk of stripping out your screws. So if you can, try and get the right thing, because otherwise you're not going to be able to open it after that. So we got those 2 screws out. Let's go ahead and remove this one. The way I keep the screws in order is I put them flat side down on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So basically like this in the pattern that I'm taking them out. So that way I know exactly where each screw came from and I can put it back even if I left the computer or this device open for days or months or weeks. Alright, the only thing is if you're working on a lot of this kind of stuff, you need a place to put all those screws so that they don't get knocked over. Okay, so we basically got about 3 of them going along this way. So I did the 2 up here, then we got 3 here, and then we got 1 in the middle here. Take it slow. Alright, you don't want to drop any of these screws around in here and then lose them, and you don't want them to roll around inside. Okay, so we got all of that. It looks like there's 3 more at the bottom here we're going to remove. Okay. Let's remove those as well. And then we'll see, hopefully we can remove this cover. There's a little connector there we're going to have to disconnect. Again, I'm not going to pull this whole thing apart. I just want to check the antennas to see what's going on there, because most likely that's the issue. And I'm going to power it on afterwards and see if that's the case. Alright, so we got all those screws out. Let's see if we can pop this metal cover off. Okay, you can see it's kind of flexing up. We do need to, again, pop this connector out. So get under there and then pop that up, and it comes out by itself. So there we go. There's this piece. I'm not sure what this is for. Probably, my guess is going to be NFC or something. Again, I think Jerry Rig Everything kind of talks about all this stuff, but they have this thing. It's not going to focus on it, is it? There you go. But it says like B0-UWB-R06, if that means anything, and then there's some RT number there, ET, and then 211125. Again, I don't know if that means anything, but I'm gonna set that aside. Okay. And yeah. Okay. What else we got? So we got this connector here. This is, what's that? That's like infrared sensor, I think. All right, and you got another connector here. There's a bunch of these connections. Okay, this is, I'm pretty sure, the battery connection. So we're gonna flip that up. Okay, I'm just gonna get my fingernail in there and then pop that. And there we go. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna press and hold this power button to kind of drain any residual power through the phone to make it a little bit safer to work on. I do this for about 15 seconds. I do this with all the laptops and everything as well. Disconnect the battery as soon as you can. Press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds. And then it makes it a lot safer to work on. That way, if you drop something conductive or metal inside, there's a lot less risk. All right. So we have access to this cable, so let's go ahead and disconnect this. And we got access to that, so let's disconnect that. You also have access to this one and this one. All right, so we'll flip all these little cables and connections up. Oh, come on, let go. What is it holding on? Why is this one so strong? Is this permanently on there? This connection. Oh, there we go. Okay. And I want to be a little bit careful here. This looks like it's also an antenna, I think. Actually, what is that? What's this little bar on the side for? I don't know. If anyone knows, feel free to let us know. Again, I don't know, maybe Jerry Rig Everything says it on his. There's a connection here. We're going to flip that. Again, I think that's for the infrared sensor or something. We got another little connection here. We're going to flip that up. Okay. So many little connectors. So we're going to flip this one. This one looks like for, what is that? There's more stuff here, more antennas probably. And then the S Pen connector here. Right, got that. All right, let's see if we can pull up this antenna thing section here. You can see it's lifting up. So I gotta be careful here. I'm gonna turn it upside down and see if I can get under there. So we can kind of lift this. And there we go. All right, so here is this antenna board. It didn't seem loose or anything, so I don't know if that's gonna fix anything, but we'll set that aside. Okay, what else? You got anything else to pull out here? We got this. Oh, this is the front facing camera connector. So we're gonna flip that up. Okay, there we go. And I'm curious if I can pull this whole board out. There's one more screw up here. I'm not sure what that's holding. Maybe a motor? I don't know. Alright, I'm not so much an expert in knowing what's inside here, but I can usually pull things apart and put them back together. So, is this gonna come out? Okay, I don't want to rip it out, but it is wiggling. Okay, so I don't want to pull stuff out if I don't have to. I remember in the video where I saw someone else do a teardown, I think on Jerry Rig Everything's one, there's nothing really under here to mess with, but let's see. I'm going to try and get this board out if it comes up easily. If it doesn't, I'm going to leave it alone. Oh, I see. That thing is, I was trying to pry between the battery and that plastic or metal frame, so that's not what you can pry up. So we gotta try and get under the board itself here. Okay, you can see we can lift that, and then you kind of have access to under these cameras or sensors. So we can kind of lift here, and you gotta be careful. There's all these connections here that when you go to put it back in, it's gonna be pretty difficult to put back. So make sure if you're doing this that you're gonna have the patience to try and get it all back together, or yeah, you're gonna run into some issues. Okay, we're gonna slowly, carefully lift this. Okay, again, there's all these little connectors here that you gotta make sure to get out of the way. It's caught on something, I'm not sure what. Oh, was it that one? Okay, we're gonna rotate it, and here we go. So here we have the bottom. You can see where all these camera sensors are. Wow, that's a thick PCB right there. So I'm assuming the CPU and stuff is under here. You do have a connection for one of the cameras here, so if you want you can flip that up. Okay, you got another one over here, and you got one more here. And I think that's all the camera sensors and stuff. I can actually wiggle this. Oh, just kidding. There's one more here. Okay, now if we grab this silvery part separately, you want to be very careful because there's all the lenses. Maybe I'll just flip it upside down and then let this drop. Oh, something else is stuck. What is? I disconnected all of them. And there you go. So there's all the camera and lens sensors and everything. Pretty cool. It comes out just like that. I don't know if you can replace individual ones. There's one screw there, but I'm not going to mess around with that. I don't see any screws anywhere else. Actually, there's... Nope. I thought there was going to be a screw there because you can see that little piece, but I guess not. Alright, anyways, let's get this thing back together. So this goes... Yeah, it's hard to hold this. Okay, and then also there's this little thing here, which I think that's a light sensor on the back of the phone. Okay, look at that. It's pretty crazy how much goes into this thing. That camera, this set of camera sensors alone is like an Apple Watch or bigger. Okay, so you got some little pads in here. This is a speaker. I don't know, Jerry Rig Everything always talks about how it has these little balls in there. I'm not sure why they have those balls in there. This cable looks to be going into the screen, and then you have this bar with all these X's on it. Sorry, I don't know what all these X's are for, but it connects with this cable. And then you got this little cable for the charging thing. Battery connection here. Got these two cables there. You got another one of these things on that side. Let's go ahead and take out the screws on the bottom and see if we can do anything. Okay, again, keep all these screws in order. They do all look to be about the same type of screw, but I like to always put the same screw back where I got it, just in case. Okay, those three. Got 3 more screws down here. Basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be pulling all the screws, or the connectors up, and then clicking them back down. So if anything is kind of popped loose from drop and shock vibration, hopefully that will fix those problems. Okay, so we got all of that. Let's see here. Now can we pull up this speaker? It's still stuck. Oh, okay, from this side it's lifting. So we're going to start from there and kind of work our way over and see. Hopefully it's not going to break. It seems stuck here. Why is it stuck here? I don't know. This thing is stuck in here. I'm scared. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it popped out, and you have these connections to connect the speaker to this board down here. Oh my god, I hope I didn't damage the speaker. So there's the speaker, and then there's a little blue thing in here. Luckily this is just the speaker. There's more of those little ball things under this blue window. Okay. Alright, then we got this connection. So it looks like this cable can be removed if you wanted to. Okay. And then we got this cable. You can pop this up and get that out. And then we got this cable. You can pop that up and get that out. Alright, and then this looks to be the charge circuit board. I wonder if we can actually pull that charge circuit board out, so that way if the charge port breaks, that means you would be able to replace it. It looks like there's 3 screws holding that in, so let's get those out. Okay. Alright. So I got those out. Let's see if we can lift this now, or if there's something else holding it down. It doesn't seem to want to pop up, so maybe there's adhesive or something else holding it down. I don't think this board is having any problems, so I might just leave it alone if it doesn't come out easily. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't seem to want to budge. Oh, I'm dumb. There's a SIM card in there, so we're gonna have to eject the SIM card. Maybe that's what's holding it down. I hope. Alright, so use the SIM card eject and pull that out. Alright. Okay, so there's no SIM card in there because we used an eSIM. So let's see now, can we pull this out? Or is it still going to be stuck? Maybe it's still stuck. Nope, it's still stuck in there. Yeah, so this thing is, I'm not sure what's holding it down, but something is holding it down. And I don't think, let's see, I'll pry a little bit with this metal tool because that's the only thing I have that's maybe thin enough to get between. I do see it wiggling a little bit. It is lifting slightly, but not quite. I don't want to use too much force and then destroy it. Okay, I do see a little hole down here. Sorry if I was going out of view of the camera. That maybe I can use to lift. I'm gonna be very careful here because it might launch. Yeah, we're getting under. Okay, and there we go. So we were able to lift that out. You can see the little SIM slot and the charge port. So the charge port is accessible there. One of the pins do look kind of gross. I don't know if I can clean that off. I'm just going to use a toothbrush and kind of brush it a little. Yeah, nope, it's still kind of gross. Let me try with a little isopropyl alcohol and paper towel. Okay. So we're gonna get a little piece of paper towel and just put a little isopropyl alcohol on it. And I'm gonna try and clean that. Sorry, I'm going out of view. Okay, whatever that piece that was stuck there did come off, so that looks better. Okay, how about this side? You don't have very good access to the pins there because the outside, the very tip is just plastic. But there we go. Clean that up a little bit. This itself might actually be an antenna because they do have this little bar here and it touches onto this little silver, aluminum, or whatever pad that is. You also have a little contact pad here. Yeah, I don't know. This has little spring contacts there. You see that? Come on, focus, camera. There. So it has some spring contacts on there. All right, that help it get a connection. But again, I'm not sure what that connection is. Okay, so let's go ahead and start reassembling this. We do have access to the batteries right there. I don't know if there's a way to just yank that out. I'd probably flood it with isopropyl alcohol in here or something and then use my tool to kind of slowly pry it up. But you do have to go slow if you're gonna do that. I don't know if there's another way. I don't know what this white tape is, if this is some kind of peeling pull tab or something, but yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what this little piece is. Let's see if removing those two screws, if I can actually pull that up. Okay. And maybe we can take a closer look. If it doesn't come out, I'm just gonna leave it in there. Okay, let's see, is this gonna pull up? No, it doesn't come out easily. I don't want to just yank on it and then risk tearing this cable. So I'm going to just put the screws back. I'm not here to kind of destroy things. If that's what you like to watch. Yeah, Jerry Rig Everything likes to do kind of destruction tests while he's opening it up. So check those videos. All right. And yeah, I don't want to try and rip anything else out here. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and reassemble this thing. Uh-oh. hopefully I got all the screws in order. Let's see, we had this, and then this had 3 screws. I have 1 screw up here. I'm gonna have to figure out what I took that out from in a bit, but let's go ahead and get this piece back in. Did get those 2. Okay, we're gonna get this back in, and I think we have to kind of get the charge port in first. Let me move stuff out of the way and see if I can zoom in to make this a little bit easier to see. Okay, so we're gonna get that in and then slowly work our way over and down, and hopefully, let's see, is there anything weird here? Oh, you also have all these little contact spring pins on the back, so let's see. Can I get these all back in? It's tricky. Okay, pull it down. Be careful not to damage that connector. Alright, and it looks like everything is pressed down all the way. Okay. So I can tell, oops, sorry, I can tell because this board is flush with that raised metal, and then you have that little gap. That's how I kind of pried it up from that little hole. Okay, let's get the 3 screws back in and the SIM card holder thing back in. So we'll get that back in, push that in place. All right, let's get the 3, oops, it's taking the screws from another spot. Let's get the 3 screws back in. So we got this one here. This one here. Okay, and then we got the third one here. Alright, next we got the three ribbon cables that we took out. So this says main, and then this says sub. The sub side is what plugs in. So we're gonna get this lined up. Oh, that's gonna be a little tricky because you can't see where the pins are. Line it up and then click it down. Make sure it clicks. Right, same thing with this fatter cable, the really wide one, main there, and then sub here. So we're gonna line it up with the sub and click that down. Okay, I don't know why this looks all gross here. That was kind of gross. I don't know what was on there, but let's clean that up a little. Okay, maybe that's from the isopropyl alcohol getting in. All right, and then we have this skinny one. It also says main, and then here it says UB. It's missing the S, but that one goes down here. Okay, this is gonna be okay. Click that in. So make sure it's all the way in. Okay, next we have the little speaker thing to put back. Make sure you put it the right way with this big clunky thing here. Alright, so we're gonna line it back up. And then this part was a little bit difficult, so we probably gotta click that in first, and then see, there we go, line that up and click that in. Perfect. Alright, and this had the 6 screws, so we're gonna put those 6 back in. I hope I'm not, I don't know what I took that one screw from. Oh, I know what it's from. Okay, second one. The other good thing with recording these repairs is I can see if I missed anything and where I missed it. Alright, go. Then we got these 3 down here. I really hope this fixed that antenna issue, because if it doesn't, I don't know what else could be going on with this. Alright, and the last screw for that speaker down here. Alright, one thing I want to see, does this have any, this doesn't have any like contact points for stuff to go into the back. Okay, so the one screw that I was like talking about was from this piece that I didn't take out. I don't know if this piece, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can pull this up. I think it's like another speaker or something. It's wiggling. I mean, actually it is a speaker. This is, I think this is the ear speaker that goes up there, this piece. Interesting. I wonder how it, oh, okay, it just all goes to this one spot, and then the grill is just there for uniformity. There's another screw right there. Actually, let me see if I can pull that out just to see what's underneath. There's another screw. Oops, sorry. There's another screw up in this corner. See if we can pull this out. Oh, yep, okay. So after you remove those 2 screws, we can lift this whole piece up and out. And there's the other speaker. Does this have blue little ball things in it as well? Okay, there they are. I think I showed that earlier. Here's where the sound comes out, this little hole. And yeah, okay. You can actually see here, they put a little mesh in there for the sound to go. Ugh, it's a little dusty and crusty in there. I'm gonna just brushing it out with the toothbrush here. That's gross. How is it dusty and crusty in there? It's sealed, like water can't get in, but crusty stuff can, I guess. Alright, so I just blew it out with an air blower. I don't know if this, I don't know how you would remove this camera. It's like glued in or something. You probably can take it out, but you'd probably have to force it out. But it looks like there's like a glue or putty, some gray stuff all in there. All right. Okay, let's get this thing back in. So these things are tiny. I keep dropping them. I hope they're going to be okay. Let me kind of clean out this little speaker vent because it looks gross in there. I'm going to blow some dust in there. Okay, and hopefully that didn't mess it up or anything. We're going to get this piece back on. Make sure to get the camera thing out of the way. And then line this all up. And this is kind of tough. I think we have to put the right side in first. What are all these little pieces? Oh, they just cut milled aluminum there. I'm like, what are those little square or rectangle things? Okay, so we'll get this side in first, I guess. Right? Is that what has to happen? Is that why it's not going back in? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not able to get this back in for some reason. What am I not lining up? Oh, okay. The top, you have to make sure that goes under the frame and then drop it in. There we go. Now we'll get these two screws back. Hold that in place. Okay. Get the second one here. Okay, what's next? We have to reattach the cameras and sensors and stuff to this board. Okay, so that, we just flip it back over, get everything lined up. This one I really don't want to drop. Okay, so I'm gonna have to be very careful. Line that up and put that in place here. Okay, now that that's lined up, we gotta pinch all these. Hopefully you're able to see, pinch all these connectors back in, avoiding to press on any of the little glass pieces. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm gonna hold it from here and push. All right, you wanna make sure it clicks in all the way, because if it's not and you go to put this back, you're gonna have some issues later. Okay, be careful because there is that little thing there as well. Okay. Under there and click that one in. Okay, make sure, I used my fingernail and it kind of marked it a little bit. All right, push on this. I'm sorry, I'm like checking to make sure I'm not like pushing on the lenses and stuff. Okay, line that up, click that one in. All right, it's a little tricky. You have to find like a place to hold with your finger on the back to have some pressure on it so it doesn't like push through, because you don't want to bend the board either. Okay, so we'll line this up, click that. Right, again, make sure it clicks all the way. It felt like it clicked and then I kept pressing and it clicked some more, so it's a little tricky. Again, if you mess this up, you're gonna have to open the whole phone again and you won't know, because you're gonna have to like use all the little cameras to make sure. Okay, I'm gonna check all the connections, push on that again, check on this, push on this one, okay, and then the last one here. Alright, so I think I pushed them all back in. We have that one, this one, this one, and this one, right? So 4 connectors. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The LED is part of the board here. I don't know if it's removable. I think it's soldered on. All right, so next we got to get this whole thing back in place. And this piece, I think, goes into this hole, right? Is that how it goes? No, wait, what? This is the front of the phone. So this will go that way and this goes this way. Okay, so this rectangle here goes into this groove, which is part of the camera actually, not the CPU. All right, you got all these little connectors that are in the way. So let's see, I gotta zoom out. You gotta get something to kind of keep these things out of your way. Get whatever works for you. I don't know. I'm gonna have this little box I made before for holding my screwdriver tools. I'm gonna use that to hold that up. And then you gotta make sure all of these are out of the way. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the camera one up, and then I'm gonna slide this over underneath. Hopefully, oh, there's one more connector down here you wanna make sure you don't trap. So we're gonna work our way over, slowly slide it underneath everything. Okay, and then make sure again that this one also ends up on top. Alright, slowly drop it down. There we go. Make sure everything is lined up. We can now get this out of the way and make sure we have access to everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're gonna have these 3 things. What's gonna connect to that? We have the wireless, or this piece that will connect onto it, this, and then we have 2 more. We have this piece, the antenna that goes up there. Then what was this one? Am I missing something? Oh, this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and start reconnecting everything. We got this little main subboard and all of these, so I'm gonna zoom in again. Line these connections up and click them back in. Can be a little tricky. Okay, click it down. Make sure, I like to use the pad of my finger to push straight down to make sure it's connected all the way. Okay, same thing with this, line it up. And oh, this one's being a pain. There we go. Make sure it's lined up. There we go. Make sure it's lined up all the way before you press down. You don't want to damage anything. Okay, this connector here. You know it's lined up because you can see if I try and move it around, it stays in place. Then you can go ahead and click it. This one, same thing. Okay, and also make sure again that you're pushing flat down because it can click like sideways a little bit and then click in the other way. So you want to make sure you're pushing it straight down. We're going to do the battery connection last here, so we're not going to do that one yet. We're going to do the S Pen charger port, and then I think these are antennas, I don't know. Click that in. Okay, got this long one. Make sure you pull it into the right place again. Test to make sure it's lined up right. Got this one. Sorry if I go out of view, I'm trying to see what's going on. Alright, then click that in. Alright, what else we got? Hopefully I got everything in view for you guys. Doing all that zooming in and everything is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna get this lined up. Okay, I'm kind of putting it in an angle, and then we're gonna drop it down. And make sure the screws aren't lining up, so we probably gotta push this up a little more. And click that. There we go. Is it still? It's still not lined up all. We got these little pieces here that aren't clicking in, so make sure you click those. There we go. Okay, and then I'm pulling this up towards here because these look like they make contact with the case up there. So if they're not lined up right, then you might not get a good signal, and maybe that's what's going on with it. Okay, so we're gonna now click this one down, make sure it's lined up. This one's a little tricky to line up here. Oh, it's halfway. There we go. Alright, be careful, these lenses are really close to the little push down points. Okay, so let's see, we had these 2 screws and then, okay. So let's go ahead and put these 2 screws in. So we have this one all the way up here. Again, I'm gonna try and pull this up to the outer casing as much as I can. Okay, that one, and second screw. Again, you want to kind of pinch it up into the casing so that way it makes contact with these 2 points there for the antenna. Go. Alright, we have this. Does this go on top? Okay, so the battery's gonna have to be reconnected before we put this. So let's get these 3 screws. Got this one here holding this camera. Okay. The second one here, also holding this antenna board, casing, whatever you want to call it. Another one here. Okay, now we gotta reconnect the battery. So we have that. Let's go ahead and line it up. And let's see here. I'm gonna kind of slide it over a little to the side and click that in. Perfect. All right, let's get this piece back on. This goes here. Oops, I put one screw in the wrong, or too early. Okay, look at this, line back up. Right, hopefully you can see. I just dropped that in place. We're gonna line that up and click that connection in place. All right, we're gonna now get this screw back in. I put it too earlier. Okay, and I'm gonna loosely fit it because as you can see, this can kind of wiggle around. So I don't wanna tighten that down all the way yet. Then we got this one in the middle of that, the whole phone. And then we got 3 more. Okay, they all go into this metal plate. So we got this one here. Again, I'm just loosely fitting it. Second one here. And as you can see, I also twist backwards before tightening it down because I want to make sure that the threads line up right. And you can tell because when you go to screw it down, it screws in easily. It's not getting caught on anything. All right, so first screw in, second one tightened, third one, fourth one, and fifth one up here. Oops, sorry, this corner here. All right, so we got everything except for the Qi wireless charger reconnected. So let's go ahead and snap that back in. So this one, we just gotta line it up. I'm gonna turn this sideways. Line this up, and then click that down. Perfect. Then we just kind of drop this back in. I don't know if we need to do any alignment here. It's not really lined up. Okay, so I'm gonna line it up. You can actually see they draw like little areas on that triangle there, but I think if you line it up, then this won't line up. So I'm gonna drop it down to where that adhesive is here, and then stick that down. Then we can go ahead and stick the rest. Oh, this one actually stayed curled, so maybe I need to peel this up and then curl it down first. So let's go ahead and pull this back up. Oh no, is it gonna be difficult? Okay, it's not as difficult to peel up after you've done it once. Okay, so this, you can see it's kind of curled up. So I'm gonna curl this back flat if I can. Okay, and oops, sorry. All right, so it's pretty easy to roll that back down. Good. Let's go ahead and line this back up again. Click that back in. Okay, again, I'm lining up this black one with that adhesive strip that's there, because I don't want to pull it too far away from there. It doesn't matter if you don't line this up right, because it just makes the circle maybe a little bit less in line, and then you just have to, your charger has enough like wiggle room to line up anyways. So there we go. Let's go ahead and see if it powers on. I don't know if, oh, there we go. I wasn't sure if we had to plug it in. Sometimes some devices, after you disconnect the battery, you have to plug it in before it will let you turn it back on. But there you go, it's turning back on. We should be good. We should be able to just slap the back on there. Hopefully the adhesive will have enough that it will hold really well. I don't know if it, I wouldn't trust it to be watertight or water resistant as much as before, since we did peel this up. Now there's like kind of air pockets where it can kind of, the liquid can get in. So far there's no signal, so I don't know, maybe it's dead. Sometimes it takes a while to get signal, so we'll wait a little bit and see. But right now it's looking like it's not gonna connect. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this. I'm gonna have to call T-Mobile. Maybe it's not a hardware issue, maybe something's going on T-Mobile's end, because this phone just randomly started having this issue for no reason. Okay. Yeah, it's staying searching. Anyways, let's go ahead and put the bottom cover or the back cover back on, and then that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Again, we're just gonna line this all up and then drop it down. It's gonna be a little tricky here, but I'll just line up the top edge and then slowly lower it. Okay, I think that's in. We're gonna just push all around the edges, and that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, yep, still no service. So that's it. All right, see you guys later. Let's drop this. Bye.